What is the ERC?
So the ERC program is a tax refund credit. It's a tax credit for companies that had either during some or all of 2020 and 2021 had W-2 employees on payroll, and the ability for a company to receive up to $26,000 of a refund from the portion of the payroll they paid. So if a company had employees during those years, or even partially during those years, there's potential to receive a significant amount of money back for the payroll that they paid out. And that's what we do. We assist companies with determining eligibility, calculating the credit, and helping them file for the credit, as well as making sure that it's tracked till their door until they get that refund. So it's a unbelievable tax credit available for companies in the form of a check that they get for their payroll.
Fantastic. And it comes from the IRS, correct?
Yes, it's going to come from the Treasury. They will get a check mailed directly to their business address listed on their payroll returns. Unless they owe money to the Treasury, the IRS, then it would be covering those taxes. But otherwise, they will be receiving an actual check to the business.
There's a lot of companies out there that are in this ERC game, and we're getting bombarded with all kinds of messaging. Can you tell us a little bit about your company and what is your differentiation from other possible companies that might be in the same space as you?
Sure, yeah. So we're attorney owned and operated. So not only do we have professionals handling the credit from the accounting side, but our attorneys take a look at every file, which really is something that our companies love that we provide for them. They help determine eligibility properly, as well as provide a detailed eligibility case study on their credit upon completion of it. So we work with mom pop to publicly traded companies in every sector, nonprofit, schools, healthcare facilities, restaurants, you name it. We've really covered all industries throughout the country, and dealing with thousands of applications. We have a great streamlined process to help business owners handle their company while we take care of this credit for them without interrupting them too much, to help them get a significant amount of money back.
I did some little research about the ERC. I went to the irs.gov site, and there's all kinds of links. And I will tell you this, Ari, it was very confusing. There's a lot of documents that are entailed to find out if you even qualify, and all the different items that are needed to fill it out. It seems to me like you just can't do this on your own. You need a professional firm like yours to make sure that you put yourself in the best position to get your ERC, correct?
100%. I couldn't agree more. You're dealing with, your taxes. It's not taxes, but you're dealing with a tax refund, and you're dealing with a significant amount of money. When you do things of this nature, you want to do it right. You could either file incorrectly. You could not file even if you are eligible, or you could file and you're not eligible. And at the best case scenario, probably you're going to leave a significant amount of money that you are due on the table if it is not done by a firm such as ourselves, who specializes specifically in handling the employee retention credit for companies.
We're speaking with Ari from Employee.Credit. Now, you have a special program that's going on with New HD Media and our non-for-profit Sophia's Mission, which try to create job opportunities for people on the autistic spectrum. So if you use the URL ercautism.org, your business will not only get your ERC, but you'll be helping people in need, which I just want to thank you for being able to work with us. Kudos to your company, Ari. I do appreciate that.
Well, really kudos to you guys for giving us opportunity to just take a small part of working with an organization such as yourselves. Business, comes and goes, but working with good people is the utmost importance to us, and being a part of this community. So we're very excited to help out.
Well, thank you, Ari. Now let's get into some of the nuts and bolts here. If someone's tuning in for the very first time, we're talking about ERC. We're with Ari from Employee.Credit. And the first question is, how many people do I have to have working for me that have W-2s during the pandemic through 20 and portions of 2021? Does it take to qualify to work with your company to get the CRC?
Great question. So majority owners and their family members are not eligible for any of the refunds. So when we're talking about W-2 employees, we're looking at excluding those. We help companies with more than 5 W-2 employees. Many reasons why less than that, they could still be eligible, but our company is handling any company with more than 5 W-2 employees full-time. We are here to help and hopefully get them significant refunds.
Now, during 2020 and 2021, what if I had a business that actually grew and didn't regress?
Excellent question. So, few different things. One, your company does not have to have either a net loss or even a reduction in revenue in order to qualify for the ERC. So again, if a company grew in 2020 or in 2021, we're very happy for them. Great, keep growing. But you could still be eligible and just as likely to be eligible possibly for this refund for other criteria. Another main form of criteria has to do with government mandated restrictions. There's certain eligibility that our attorneys take a look at to help the company determine whether they were affected enough by government mandates to be eligible for this credit. As well as even if a company grew in 2020 or 2021, it's possible that certain quarters did not grow and maybe have decreased a little bit in the revenue and the next quarter increased. They could still be eligible even if you're looking at a whole year, if there's an increase. If by certain quarters there was a decrease, they could still be eligible. So we see this all the time, especially in the nonprofit sector. Schools, they are very likely to take a look at it themselves or hear about it and think that this is not going to be for them. There is no fee to take a look. So we see this all the time, companies that think they're not eligible, we take a look and we're able to help them get a significant amount of money back.
Well, that's great. You've got accountants and lawyers who are really good at what they do at employee.credit. So you should not, if you're listening, automatically assume there's nothing possible for you as far as the ERC. Now, you might be listening and thinking to yourself, well, I look at 2020 and I look at 2021 and I found the information by using the link that Zach provided, ercautism.org. And I noticed that I only had loss of revenue for only one quarter out of that time period. Am I still eligible? What do we do if that's the case?
Yeah, a company could still be eligible for a decrease in revenue. And again, this goes by gross revenue. It does not go by your net profit. So you could still be making money and be eligible for one quarter or multiple quarters if the gross revenue may have gone down. Again, even without the gross revenue going down, you can still be eligible for having restrictions placed on your business by mandates from the government during that time, which we will help take a look at. But a company could be eligible for one quarter, for multiple quarters, or for even certain months and time periods, and not necessarily the entire credit is needed. You don't need to be eligible for the entire availability of this credit to be eligible for something.
We're talking with Ari at employee.credit. Again, the URL that we're going to use for New HD is ercautism.org. Now, a lot of people were able to qualify for PPP. If I took PPP, am I eligible for ERC?
Great question. You are not, you are possibly still eligible for ERC. These are two separate programs. The PPP was a loan that could have been forgiven. The ERC is not a loan. It's just a refund back to the business. Even if you got PPP, I'd say about 80% of our clients did receive PPP, at least one of them, if not both. And some of them did not receive PPP. One has nothing to do with the other when determining eligibility.
The one thing I do know about PPP, if you started your business of May of 2020, you were SOL. You might SOL for PPP, but you're in good for ERC, quite possibly.
That is correct. New companies can still get a portion of the ERC, even if they opened in 2020 or 2021.
Ari, how much does it cost to see if I qualify?
Nothing. We don't charge anyone to see if they're eligible for this credit. As you said, ercautism.org, they go out, they fill out the link. It should take them 3 to 4 minutes maximum. We will then contact them and assign staff to their file. We're going to take a look. If there is no credit at all, if they're not getting a refund, they will not be paying anything. And that really has generated so many referrals for our company, so many new partnerships for our company. People love hearing that thank you for just taking a look.
Why someone's accountant not do this for a business or for any of their clients?
So we like to tell people, don't fire your accountant because he didn't do it for you yet. It's like asking a plumber who's very handy to paint. He could probably do a better job than I could, but he's still not going to do it perfectly because it's not what he specializes in. Accountants are accountants. This is not just accounting work. That's also why we have attorneys on board. This is tax credit services. It is a little bit different. And to open a new business, I don't blame your accountant for not doing it. So this is what we specialize in.
How long will it take to get my refund? And is this a credit or a check? How does that part work? I know you said check earlier, but I just want to make sure I'm hearing you right.
Yes. The company will be receiving a check to their business address listed, and they could cash it and do as they please with it. It's not like PPP where they have to spend it on certain things and then report how they spent it. They don't have to report this money on how they spent it at all. It's a refund for money that they spent. And it takes the IRS between 4 to 6 months area to send a refund back to the company. But we track the entire process through to make sure that it was received, the filing, and that it's processing, and that the credit amount is being mailed to the client.
We're talking with Ari from Employee.Credit about the ERC and how the system works. And in case you're just tuning in, your business can get up to $26,000 per W-2 employee throughout the 20 and 2021. You can get all the different information when you use our URL, ercautism.org. How does the process work?
Yeah, so we have a streamlined, efficient process after working on thousands of applications. You go to ercautism.org to see if we can help you get a refund on your employees. They fill out a 3 to 4 minute application. One of our staff will be in touch with them the same day, if not within 24 hours. We request certain documents needed for the analysis, and we will help determine a client if they're eligible for this credit, if they're not eligible for this credit, calculate the credit for them, help them file for the credit from A to Z until they get their check refund in their hands.
You can use that money for whatever you want to use it for.
100%. It goes right to the business owner. It's his money to use as he please. He can put it back in the business or he can take it home.
Fantastic, Ari. And I'm just going to tell everybody how to get started. Go to ercautism.org. That's ercautism.org, ercautism.org.